got eyes like
God
devils.
bless.
Look at them human horsons. They think they can do whatever they want.
So much
Oh,
to do.
you
About
mutt.
them showing their goat faces
A
around
large beer for
Someone
me. Teach them how things work in these parts.
My thoughts exactly. Like we should be living in fear for our women in our own village.
Right. Nobody's
Memphis.
safe with that rabble of...
I need some advice.
You want some advice? Here's some. If you ever fight here again, I'll drag you out by the ear myself. Got that?
Wait, hang on. That wasn't my fault.
Does it matter? I hope the pillory taught you a lesson. Down to business. I don't have all day for you. So what do you want?
I promised Radovan the blacksmith I'd go and see Ambrose the hermit in Apollonia.
My God, lad. Stay away from them rocks. Ambrose the hermit sold his soul to the devil and won't talk to nobody no more.
Yeah, I heard that as well. But it seems a bit far-fetched.
So why would an evil spirit suddenly start appearing near Apollonia? It's the devil's work, believe you me.
And has anyone sent to the castle for the priest?
Not at all. Bailiff Thrush is keeping it quiet so far. 4 strangers came here yesterday. They sat in the corner there, but once they heard about the apparition, they started to take a big interest.
What strangers?
They looked like monks, only they had daggers concealed under their robes. I saw them clearly. I'm telling you, there's something fishy going on around Ambrose.
But I have to speak to him.
Didn't you hear what I said? He doesn't speak to nobody. He hides away in his hut and sends everyone away. I'd think long and hard before doing anything if I was you. Because this reeks of hell.
I'd like to ask you about that hermit in Apollonia.
Go on then.
What do you know about this apparition?
Stanislav, the herdsboy. He comes running into the village that night, all terrified, saying he'd seen a rider from hell in Apollonia. And the very next night, it appeared in the rocks below the road to Tahov. There's this conciliatory stone cross there. And the next day, it was at a funny angle. There's some devilry in it for sure.
And it was the herdsboy who saw it by the cross, or someone else?
The apothecary's wife, Gerda. Ask her yourself. She's not been herself ever since, poor woman.
Where can I find the herdsboy?
Stanislav has a sheep pen in the meadow beyond the Troskovitz graveyard, right above the big crossroads outside Apollonia.
How do I get to the hermit?
You're asking for trouble, lad. But all right, if you insist, you go through Apollonia, along the path below the rocks, till you reach the point where it crosses the stream. And from there, you take the path uphill to the left, leading into the rocks.
Who's this hermit fella, anyway?
No one knows. He settled in the rocks a few years back. Folk used to go to him for various healing ointments or advice.
And what has he got to do with this apparition?
Well, he was at death's door recently, bedridden, and then suddenly he's got his health back. Just like that. And he's like a different man since then. He sends everyone who goes to see him packing. Mark my words. He sold his soul to the devil to get better. And the devil sometimes comes here on the prowl for unwary souls.
Where did these peculiar monks come from?
Hard to say, but they rode in on well-fed horses.
Monks on horseback? That's definitely odd.
Well, Bashka the Butcher says they came from the bishop about that diabolical apparition. In short, the Inquisition.
Look at them human horsons. Don't play games. They think they can do whatever they want.
The nerve of them showing their goat faces around here.
Someone should
Here it
teach them how
comes.
things work in these parts.
My thoughts exactly. Like we should be living in fear for our women in our own village.
Right. Nobody's safe with that rabble around.
Flash in their faces, it will be too good for them.
You silly doggy.
How can I help you today? It happens! Going next time.
I heard a shepherd saw an apparition in the rocks.
It's not wise to go there. There's a diabolical horseman haunting the place.
What happened at the conciliatory cross?
Hard to say. It was turned around. But what Gerda from the apothecary saw there, you'll have to ask her.
Könnyű ezt mondani. Még egy köpés, nem bírok tovább.
Lord be with you.
I'd like to ask you about something.
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Go away, please.
Wait, Gerda. I didn't come to mock you. On the contrary, I want to help you.
Really?
I believe you really did see something. But I want to know what it really was.
So, what do you want me to tell you?
Relax, Gerda. Have a think, and then tell me what happened with the apparition.
It was the day before yesterday. I was picking marshmallow roots above the rocks. It grows by the cross there, near the big dry tree not far from the road to Tachov. I didn't get home till after dark when I suddenly realized I didn't have my knife.
So you went back to the cross?
God have mercy. He hopped up right out of the ground in front of me. He was all in black and he was grinding his teeth. I started to scream. There was something glinting in the dark and this clanking sound and I just turned and scarpered.
That's all?
At one point I turned around and I saw a dark shadow darting across the field. Proper flying along it was like the devil and heading straight to Apollonia.
What's this place where you saw the apparition?
It's a conciliatory cross, erected in the memory of some innocent's death. They say some years ago, a young fellow killed himself on account of an unhappy love affair. He jumped from a cliff.
And the day after you saw the apparition, the cross was at an angle?
Aye, all askew. Everyone here saw it. I didn't go back. I can't.
Don't worry, Gerda. Nobody's gonna make fun of you anymore. I'll find out what it was all about and what you really saw there.
What do you think happened?
I don't know yet, but you needn't fear. Everything will get cleared up soon.
Thank you. By all the saints, thank you. But please, come and tell me how it turned out. I'll make it worth your while.
Gerda really did see something. That cross hides a secret. Go! Quick! Go! God! Oh! The conciliatory cross. An old memorial to some unfortunate event. This is where Gerda saw the apparition. Fresh soil. Someone was digging here recently. It doesn't look like an apparition, Gerda.
Quick!
Whoa! Whoa!
Good doggy, good boy. I'm sorry. Greetings. You've got blood all over you.
I hear you saw some diabolical apparition. Is that true?
Was it the bailiff who sent you? Or old Croper?
No. I want to go to Apollonia to see Ambrose, the hermit. I've heard talk he's somehow linked to that apparition. So I need to know what you saw that night.
Why do you want to know? Forget that shit, pal. It reeks of fire and brimstone.
Look, mate, I'll gladly give you a few groschen, but spit it out now. Here you are.
What did you want to know?
What exactly did you see that night at the crossroads?
A diabolical apparition. A black rider on a black horse flew into Apollonia. His eyes glowed, and his horse was black as charcoal. He turned this way and that a couple of times at the crossroads, and then darted off into the rocks. To the hermit's place, I'm sure.
He turned this way and that. That's strange. Would the devil not know the way?
I'm telling the truth. Gerda from the apothecary saw him too.
But the hermit helps people though, doesn't he?
Aye, he did. Only now they're saying he was at death's door and sold his soul to the devil. And that was the horseman.
Why? Why would the old man have sold his soul to the devil and then kept living as a pauper in his hut?
Who knows what's going on in them rocks? Some devilish trickery for sure. God be with you. And maybe wash up a bit, will ya?
That herdsboy really did see something. And the trail leads into the rocks.
Go!
horse. What's it doing here in the woods? I should take a closer look. A beautiful horse. Black as charcoal. The herds boy wasn't lying. And you don't smell of brimstone. You're just an ordinary horse. Someone really did come to see the hermit. But it wasn't the devil. God be with you, hermit.
I don't have time for you. Go away.
Folk in the village are saying you've made a miraculous recovery. And since then, you won't let anyone near you. What happened?
Nothing happened. I just can't stand all these people coming here and disturbing me. Can't I have a moment's peace?
I came about that sword of yours. I'd like to buy it from you.
I'll keep my sword, thanks very much. It's a fine piece.
Right. Long since broken and unused. I wouldn't hum and haw too long if I were you. Radovan the blacksmith will give you a good price for it.
Oh, right. You mean that sword? I don't have it anymore.
Pity about your sword. It was made from good steel, from what I heard. Folk told me you got it from somewhere in Andalusia?
God knows where it's from.
Well, I'm a blacksmith. I know the value of good steel wherever it's from. Pity you got rid of it.
Oh, God. If I give you that piece of old junk, will you leave me alone?
I can promise you that. What are you asking for it?
Nothing. Just a small service. Listen carefully, then. There's an old widow called Margaret living in the village. Take this cross to her, and say to her exactly these words. Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what is rightfully his.
Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what is rightfully his.
That's right.
I hope she'll know what this is about.
Don't worry, she will. Give her the cross, and I'll tell you where you can find the sword. Benedictio Domini sit tecum.
God be with you.
Good day. What would you like?
This might seem strange, but I'm supposed to give you this.
A cross? Mother of God. What's the meaning of this?
Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what he deserves.
Ambrose? The hermit?
It was his wish that I give you the cross and the message. He said you'd know what it's about.
Oh my God! By all that's holy, it couldn't possibly be him. All those years, I'd lost hope. I never forgave myself. I committed a mortal sin.
Well, I don't know what you did. But this is supposed to be your absolution.
No, there's no absolution. Not yet. You said it yourself. Not until Ambrose's brother gets what he deserves. The bones. They still lie there outside the wall. Help me. His soul must find peace.
All right. I'll help you. But you'll have to tell me more.
Thank you, lad, thank you. But not here. We must go to the graveyard. That's where my curse lies.
Let's go then. There's no time to waste.
Here it is.
What does the graveyard have to do with absolution?
Hold on. Not so fast. I'll tell you everything. First, tell me... Are you afraid of the dead?
The dead should rest in peace, even if they aren't in consecrated ground.
You're right, lad. But sometimes there's no choice but to disturb them. You see, one poor soul is waiting for redemption. For years and years.
Ah, I get it now. Ambrose's brother has to get what he deserves. This is about the soul of Ambrose's brother.
His name was Jan. He lies outside the graveyard wall, buried without rites. He's been there for 30 years.
Why doesn't he have a proper grave?
Because suicides can't enter the kingdom of heaven. They have to be buried outside the walls, like the unclean. The worst thing about it is that Jan didn't kill himself. He didn't deserve such a dishonourable burial. And it's my fault. I said nothing.
What happened to him?
The memories are painful. We were childhood friends, and Jan loved me. Only, I chose his friend Vashek over him. He couldn't get over the rejection. So he lay in wait for Vashek one evening.
And Vashek killed him?
It was an accident. They quarrelled. Jan drew his sword first, and Vashek had to defend himself. Apparently, they got close to the cliff edge while they were fighting, and Jan fell. When they found his body at the bottom of the cliff, people thought he'd killed himself. The only one who didn't believe it was Jan's brother.
the conciliatory cross where they saw the apparition, that's to commemorate Jan.
His brother Ambrose had it built there. And those diabolical apparitions. It's my fault for saying nothing. God is punishing me for my sins.
Nonsense. God wouldn't use a diabolical apparition to scare you, would he? And what's more, Ambrose forgave you, didn't he?
Only on the condition that Jan's bones will be laid to rest in consecrated ground. Help me lay him to rest in a proper grave, please.
But without telling the priest and gravedigger. Isn't that sacrilege?
That's the only way we can put right a terrible mistake. Jan didn't kill himself.
All right. We'll give him a proper burial. Jan's soul has the right to eternal rest.
Thank you. The Lord will pay you back 100-fold. There's a rose bush outside the graveyard wall. You'll find his bones beneath it. Please bury him beside my Vashek. Here, beneath the pine tree. In that way they'll be reconciled at least in death. Then place Ambrose's cross on his grave to bless their reconciliation. The angel of the Lord declared unto Mary, and she conceived of the Holy Spirit. Hail Mary. And Mary said, Behold, I am the handmaid of the Lord. Be it done unto me according to thy will.
Excuse me. With thee, intercede for my forgiveness.
Your journey ends here, Jan. I don't know what you have on your conscience. But rest in peace. I don't know much about prayer in these situations, but... Our Father, there are many sinners in this world, but in the end, we all face your judgment for what we should have done, but lacked the courage to do. So forgive me this little sacrilege. You know better than anyone that it was the right thing to do. Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven, and deliver us from evil. Amen. Ambrose's brother Jan got what he deserved, just as the hermit wanted.
I saw that. May his soul find peace at last.
And yours too, Margaret.
30 years. I thought about it every day.
It's all right now. You did the right thing. Everything else is beyond the law of man.
I'd like to reward you somehow.
I expect you wouldn't want anyone to hear about all this, right?
Well, if you... Will you keep it to yourself?
All right. I'll accept the coin, and that'll be the end of it.
Thank you again for your help. God be with you, Henry. Farewell. And maybe wash up a bit, so you don't...
Hey, fella!
Jesus Christ.
Listen, we need help.
Who are you?
God,
And who do you serve?
we are Knights of the Cross with the Red Star. Good brothers in Christ. I'll explain everything, but there's no time now. We have to act fast. Our brother Klesgen is dying. The crazy fool shot him. Help us.
All right, we'll have a quiet talk. What happened?
If you're going to see the hermit, be warned. The man in the hut is just pretending to be the hermit. His name is Conrad, and he's a fraud and a murderer. The Inquisition paid him to murder our Grandmaster Zdeněk in Prague. Fortunately, God did not let him carry out the crime. But 2 of our brothers were killed by Conrad when they tried to detain him.
And I see a third one will soon join them.
He was just about to flee from here as well. We took him by surprise, but he had time to grab that damned crossbow and shoot Klesgen. By the Virgin Mary, help us. We have to catch him.
You're a knight of an order.
Yes, I am Brother Arnold, a Knight of the Cross with the Red Star. And these are Brothers Sibald and Nicholas. You are too late to make the acquaintance of Brother Klesgen, I'm afraid. We take care of the sick in infirmaries throughout the land. But we can't help our brother. You have to help us, while there's still time.
Did Conrad really want to flee?
Yes, we stopped him at the last moment. He almost got away, but we surrounded him.
Why should I get mixed up in it?
I'll pay you. We just need to distract Conrad's attention, that's all. Otherwise, we won't have a chance against his crossbow in that gorge.
That swine tried to deceive me. He mustn't get away.
God, thank you. Try to get close unseen and set fire to the haystack on the right-hand side of the yard. Then his crossbow will be useless. But do it quickly, before he gets away.
Hey! Stop right there! Halt, or I'll shoot.
Wait! Hermit, what are you doing?
Don't move a muscle, I mean it!
I don't know what's going on here. I just want to talk with you in peace.
I understand, but there's no time for talk now.
What's going on here?
I don't want to kill you. Go away.
I can help you. Let's talk.
All right. But make it quick. And no sudden movements. Agnosco fortunam Carthaginus.
What do you want?
You want it to run off and break our agreement.
And what is it you want to hear from me?
Why do they want to kill you?
Why? They want to silence me. I had proof of our Grandmaster Zdeněk's treachery. But they are blind. They refuse to believe me.
What about the murders? Did you really kill 2 brothers of the Order?
I had to defend myself. I'd be dead if I hadn't killed them.
What were you looking for under the conciliatory cross?
That broken sword, of course. Old Ambrose buried it there years ago, along with all his past. I heard he originally kept the sword here before deciding to stash it there. He was attached to it from his soldiering years. He sent me to fetch it before he died. He wanted to hold it in his hands one last time. But he didn't live long enough.
Why did you come to the Hermit?
Ambrose was the only one who could stand up to our Grandmaster Zdeněk and put an end to his crimes. He was the seneschal of our order. Now it's all over. And I will remain an outcast till I die.
Where can I find that broken sword?
It's not far. At the edge of the meadow up there are 2 entangled birch trees. There's a grave beneath them, and the sword is on the grave.
That's all I need to know.
There's no time to go into it. Sorry, young man. You got mixed up in a game of high stakes, and there's no way back.
In that case, we'll play that game out together. Just let them come.
Thank you, friend. Benedictio Domini sit tecum.
I know the truth, and I can tell you. But if you'd rather try to kill me, come on!
I'll get you!
Ah! Mine!
What do you want?
I've been waiting for you.
We're going to...
Damn it, Hermit. What was that all about?
Things aren't what you think. I owe you an explanation.
Yeah, you're right. Let's hear it then.
And what is it you want to hear from me?
Why were they trying to kill you?
I had proof that our Grand Master Zdeněk had betrayed the Order and was conspiring with the Prague chapter. But it was turned against me. Damned Inquisition. First they chased out Ambrose, and now me.
That's all I need to know.
And that's an end to it. This is in return for your silence.
Thank you. I won't say a word. Don't worry.
Farewell, friend. Go with God. Benedictio Domini sit tecum.
Where's the hermit's grave? It ought to be somewhere around here. There's nothing more here. Sorry, Ambrose. Rest in peace. Now that's what I call steel. It may be broken, but there's hardly a trace of rust.
Greetings. What do you need?
So I'm back, Master Blacksmith.
Excellent. How did it go with the hermit?
He's dead.
What? Did you?
No, not me. It just got a bit complicated. Anyway, it turns out old Ambrose really used to be a knight. And this really is Toledo steel. You were right, Blacksmith.
God's nails. That's quite something.
First class welded steel. Ambrose must have broken the sword himself, deliberately. It wouldn't have just happened in battle.
That's exactly what we need. See now, youngster. My clever plan worked out nicely in the end.
Right. Well, thank you very much for your, clever plan.
You haven't disappointed me yet, lad. So I'm sure forging an exceptional sword won't be a problem for you either.
Wait, I thought you wanted to do it yourself. I'm just your assistant, after all.
Not at all. I trust you. One day you'll become a master. That is, unless you lose your head first. What would you like?
I've got something for you, blacksmith.
God's nails, you weren't bullshitting.
I'd say it looks pretty much like a sword, eh?
Looks like. This is a damned fine piece of steel. Damned fine.
Thanks. I was glad to help, but now there's something I need from you.
I'll pay you, of course. And if you want to do some smithing, I won't throw you out of my forge either.
No, you know full well what I need. I have to get to Samin's wedding.
Why is it so important for you? It'll just be a lot of people stuffing their faces. You can find that anywhere.
I have my reasons, and you don't need to know them.
God's nails, lad. You're full of mysteries. But whatever, that's your business. I don't mind taking you to the wedding. Nothing to it. We can set off once you're ready.
Welcome, blacksmith. We were beginning to worry.
I bet you were. I'm bringing a wedding present.
Look who's finally here. Welcome, Radovan. And Henry.
Sir?
Well, do you have it?
Of course. Your son deserves the best. You can take it.
No, hold on to it. I'd be glad if you gave it to Older yourself.
I'd be honored.
Has Lord von Bergov arrived yet?
Henry, that's none of your business.
It's all right, Radovan. I understand his curiosity. Lord von Berghoff isn't here yet, but Chamberlain Ulrich assures me he'll arrive any moment now.
Great. I need to talk to him.
God's nails. I'm sure his lordship will have nothing better to do than talking to my apprentice.
We'll see, Henry. Now, unfortunately, I have other things to attend to. What are those beggars still doing by the gate? I thought I made it clear I wanted them gone, didn't I?
I drove them off, but they came back. They just won't take no for an answer.
At least close the gate for now so the guests don't see them. They must be gone before Sir Otto arrives. Do you understand?
Oh dear. You seem rather worried. Would it have to do with your guest of honor?
I'm afraid of it ending up in disgrace. I wouldn't want Sir Otto to take offense and leave before he gives Older his blessing.
Is there anything I can do to help?
No, Henry. It's nice of you to offer your help, but I can't ask that of you. What kind of host would that make me?
Don't worry about it, sir. Since Henry is volunteering, why not take up his offer? If he proves himself, you can introduce him to Lord Van Berghoff as a reward, if that's what he wants.
I promise I won't bring shame to you.
Oh, we'll see. I've got to make some arrangements with the cook, but come and see me later. In the meantime, you can introduce yourself to the bailiff's son, Svartapluk, over there. You're the same age, so I think you'll get along just fine.
That's right, Henry. Svatja. He's fun to be around. God's nails, I'll bet he'll show you the prettiest girls around.
There's plenty of other entertainment, too. Bailiff Thrush is holding a dice tournament, and Captain Gnarly a dueling contest. In short, a proper wedding. Eat and drink to your heart's content. Rejoice. It's a big day for Samin.
One more thing, sir.
What else? Did I forget something?
They're, weapons.
Yes, of course. Please leave your weapons with Tuma. You surely understand, it's for security.
All our weapons?
Well, the wedding present is an exception, of course. Keep it safe, Radovan.
A few scraps of food. Help the hungry.
I apologize.
A while ago, and he was telling her something about butterflies.
Well, look who's here.
Good to see you, Henry. This is Vitek.
We know each other. Henry saved my pa's hide from the wolves.
I heard about that. First the wolves and then the injured leg.
And that was just the beginning.
Aye, that's my pa, and his drinking. Well, I'm afraid he's not going to fare much better today. He was asking after you. Did you talk yet?
Not yet.
If you want to talk to him, you'd better hurry up. Knowing him, he'll be sloshed in no time.
Quiet, you two. Sakura. Now I don't know what he said to her. Christ. Look at her face.
Whose?
Look over there. That pretty girl and the sad sack trying to impress her.
That's our friend, Wojtek.
Can't say I blame him. She's lovely. Your friend has good taste.
He's bitten off more than he can chew, though. Hey, Svatcha, what's her name, anyway?
Mishka. Her ma is old Samin's cook. That asshole Wojtek thinks he's going to win her over with some idiotic verse.
Well, actually, girls like poems. Well, unless you gabble like a barnyard gander while reciting them.
Gander, huh? A good one. Why don't you show Wojtek how it's done?
Well, I suppose
Jesus Christ! There's an idea! Let's bet on who has a better chance with Mishka. Vulgar Wojtek or handsome Henry.
I'd like to see that. You're on.
My money's on Henry. 10 groschen. So off you go, dust off your hose, tuck in your shirt, and go and win her heart.
I'll wager 10 groschen he fails.
I'm in.
Whoa! I didn't expect you to agree right away. You're an animal. You and I will get along just fine.
Well, you get along with everybody. Oh, that is, if you don't punch them in the mouth at first sight.
I don't know who I pity more. Mishka?
Never give up, do you?
Mishka, shall we have a dance?
My feet are sore.
Show me here. I'll massage them for you and you'll be as spry as a deer.
Thanks, but it's not that.
Oh, Mishka, dearest. You give me no rest.
Really? Isn't it the other way around?
You keep me awake at night.
You poor thing. Try a decoction of Melissa and Valerian.
How I long to hold you tight.
I can hardly breathe as it is.
Greetings.
How I long to kiss your lips. And, put my hands on your hips.
Enough. I can't listen to another word.
That makes two of us.
And you are who?
I'm Henry.
What do you want here?
To rescue a damsel?
There's no damsel here that needs rescuing.
The damsel has a voice and a name.
And may I know it? Or is that impertinent?
Mishka.
Now look here.
Anything wrong?
I spoke to her first.
Are we on the marketplace here?
You think you can amuse Mishka more? That's a joke.
I don't know. I'd like to try it.
Another one?
Be my guest. I was just reciting Mishka a lovely poem. So let's see if you know any.
Leave it off. Mishka's not interested in any poems.
Finally. Thank you.
Mishka, is it true?
Aye. And if you didn't listen only to yourself, you'd realise that.
But I thought you liked it.
Well, do you know what it means to think?
I don't understand this at all. But girls like poems. All of them. Ma said so.
Recite to your ma, then. And give her my greetings.
But...
Sorry I didn't realise right away.
Better late than never. Wojtek still hasn't figured it out, though.
But...
Hey, come along with me, Henry.
Fucking hell. See what you did? Mishka would be mine if it wasn't for your meddling.
Isn't it better here?
It's a nice place. Thanks for showing it to me. It's definitely quieter here.
I come here when I want to be alone. Or when I'm washing laundry.
You want to be alone? At a wedding?
It's not that. I like weddings. Only fellas like Wojtek spoil the fun for me a bit. Every time. Some fella comes sniffing around me, telling me how pretty I am, how clever, how well I dance. Or about how he's so rich, smart, and God knows what else.
You mustn't put up with it, Mishko.
You're a fun one to talk. Enough of that. I'd rather hear about you. Like, where you're from, what you're doing here. You're not a local. I'd know you if you were.
Where am I from?
Unless it's a secret, of course.
I'm from Ratai. Well, it's my new home.
New? Why?
Because my village was torched. So I fled there.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't want to bring up sad memories. Wouldn't you like to dance? It'll take your mind off things.
Gladly. I have the honor.
And do you know how? Or will you stamp on my slippers?
You better believe I know how.
We'll see about that.
Care to dance?
Twit. So, and 1, 2, 3, and off we go! See? You're doing pretty good.
I'm a natural.
Don't get so cocky. But you haven't stepped on my feet so far, which I can't say for many.
Wojtek is not picky. The other day I caught him in the church staring at a statue of the Virgin Mary. I wonder how Henry will fare. I hope he's got something up his sleeve. He can't possibly come off worse than Wojtek.
Thanks, Henry. I enjoyed the dance.
Would you look at that? The return of the prodigal son. How did it go?
Mishka's a nice girl. I'm glad I got to know her.
I don't doubt it. Where did you two go? Took you a while.
We danced and then parted ways. Nothing more.
We saw you dancing. But where were you hiding before?
We were just talking. We went somewhere quieter.
Talked, eh? That's the best story you can make up?
Give him a break. Not everyone's a blabbermouth like you.
Either way, it looks like I won the bet, Svatya.
That's true. Oh well, we have to drink. To the newlyweds' health.
That's what everybody here drinks to. Let's drink to us, fellas.
I should go and see Lord Semi. He looked worried, and I promised I'd help him. He'll introduce me